What's going on YouTube? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at X-Transbots, Master X Series Andras, the Swarm Leader. It's not Scourge. First thing I have to admit is I did not expect this figure to be this big. This guy is huge, and it comes with a couple of accessories. First up, he comes with a Target Master named Rimfire. He also comes with his own gun. He also comes with this stand, which I greatly appreciate. That way you can have his giant flying skateboard flying. Though the stand is incredibly wobbly. Just really wobbly. On the bottom of the stand, there are two peg holes, so you can place the gun in one of them. And if you want, you can unpeg Rimfire off of him and peg Rimfire down here to store him. I really like this alt mode. I think it looks really good. It's a perfect example of third parties taking a G1 figure and really doing justice to him in at least one mode. He does have little guns up here that are activated. You can put LED bulbs or LED batteries in them and then push the buttons to have them glow red. Unfortunately, since I've gotten the figure, I have not been able to go get those little LEDs. The figure does come with a little screwdriver for opening up these sections. He also comes with polycaps that I think are for his hips. Then the figure comes with this little ID card with stats on the back and his instructions. The stand is pegged into the robot's crotch, but as soon as you pull the stand out, there's a little spring door here that pushes back out, so it's pretty seamless. It's a very, very cool alt mode, and it's huge. It also has landing gears, which I don't think the original G1 figure had. I don't know. I never owned it. The only issue I really have with the landing gears is getting the front ones out. Sometimes I end up having to pop it apart and to fold out the landing gears, but not that big a deal. So with the landing gears deployed, you can sit it on your shelf or on your table with no problem whatsoever. Rimfire's gun mode is a little lacking, in all honesty. I'm not too crazy about this gun mode simply because you can see the head so easily, and it doesn't really look like a gun all that much. It's kind of floppy and flimsy, but they did what they could. Transformation is very simple. Unpeg the arms at the bottom, take the back of the figure or the back of the gun mode and fold it out and flip out the legs and then flip out the feet like so. Take the hips and collapse them and the head and collapse that back. The stock will fold up into the back, collapse the barrel, fold it down along the back. And here we have Rimfire, who is this little, actually not so little Target Master. Highly posable, excellent paint, and just looks good. Head is on a ball joint in the a ball joint in the shoulder, and then a swivel right next to it. A double hinge at the elbow, ball joint in the hip, ball joint in the knee, swivels and hinges at the feet. So you could get some pretty good poses out of this little dude. Rimfire is just a tiny bit smaller than the current Legends class figures. Andras has an interesting transformation, but it is kind of a shell former. So we'll get started. First, reach onto the sides where these inlets are and pull them as far out as they will go. Just be a little careful because the plastic on these specifically feels a little cheap. Turn the figure around and put your thumb just behind where the landing gear is and start unpegging the shell from the rest of the body. And then once you do that, you can kind of open it up a little bit, unpeg the bottom part of the shell from the top part, and just open it up all the way. These sections where the landing gears are will actually fold up into the shell. So fold them and flip them in, and just open the shell as much as or as far as it will go. Then here down by the legs, unpeg the bottom part of the shell and just kind of flip it away from the body like that. So that is the first part of the transformation. Then we're going to come to the actual worst part of the transformation, and that's the feet. So the front of the vehicle mode splits apart and you have feet here, or the feet will transform here. They're folded up inside these sections. The first time I did this, it was a royal nightmare to get things out, to get the feet flipped out. But I think I've got it a little bit better with the way I've got the feet tucked up. So spread the legs apart and fold the section in toward the inside of the legs, and then reach in the back and kind of push the feet out, and they're on very tight ratchets. So you do have to use quite a bit of force. And if your fingers aren't long enough, you're kind of going to be having a bad time. So you just kind of have to pull it out as much as you can. Now for the right leg, you'll see this peg is sticking out. Actually push that peg into the leg and then fold the leg up to form the back of the leg. By pushing that section in, we can actually collapse it and peg it into place, and then continue folding out the feet. So flip out the foot, flip out the heel, and just get the ratchets such that everything gets lined up. But it's actually really, really difficult because of the way everything is situated on this figure. With the legs out of the way, we will come to the back of the vehicle mode and unfold the arms. Simply fold them out from the back of the vehicle mode, fold them down, and then open the top of the forearms and flip out the hands. Come to the back of the figure and grab this blue section and the top cone and pull it forward and flip it forward. When you do that, you will probably, as you just saw, knock off one of the blue pieces. That's fine. Don't worry about that. So what we're going to do is just fold it forward as far as it'll go, take the blue section that's behind the head and turn them 180 degrees. Then the blue section that acted kind of like a battery pack, I guess, in vehicle mode, you're going to unpeg it from the sides and then fold up the bottom parts and push those in while folding them up and sandwiching together, and then fold them back, and then come to the sides and bring them to the sides of the head. Next, we're going to take the backpack and fold it up along the back, but first we will come to the back, bottom part, spin these sections around so we then can fold them back as far as they will go, and then fold this section up to the backpack. So then we've got all of this sitting on the back comfortably and nothing's getting in anything else's way. And then pose the wings to your preferability or preference, and we are done. Andras has a very, very good looking robot mode. I like it a lot, even though his backpack is monstrous. Though the figure itself looks quite good, as I just said, and it is definitely G1 Scourge. I do wish that I had the LED working, because that would be really cool to have his eyes lighting up right now for you guys. It's a very interesting figure and looks good and actually does feel good. His plastic looks cheap, but it actually isn't. It's just the way that the thing has been painted. And it feels pretty good. There are some thin spots, especially these shells on the back. The shells do feel a bit thin. His posability is good, but it is hampered by the backpack. Head sculpt is so good. It is so Scourge. I love it. It's definitely evil and nasty and looks like he's just angry. His hands are also very cool. His fingers are individually articulated with 1, 2, 3 points of articulation at the thumb and 1, 2, 3 points of articulation at the fingers. And the hot pink nails are awesome. They add so much more color to this figure, which he desperately needs, because let's face it, he's kind of a blue factory. It's a very, very nice addition that I greatly appreciate. Once you get the peg in place, Andras has no problem holding Rimfire at all, and he holds it very sturdily. Posability of Andras is really good, save for the giant weight of the backpack. Head is on a swivel. There is a little bit of up and down rotation. Swivel in the shoulders, ratchet in the shoulders, swivel underneath the shoulders, double hinge at the elbow, fists do move. There is torso articulation. There is ratchets in the hips, knees, almost a 90-degree bend, and foot articulation with ratchets forward and back. So you can get some decent poses out of this guy, even though he is a little bit top-heavy. Now, Andras's torso holds two different interesting tidbits. First, in his chest. You open that up, and there's a pair of doors here. They're very hard to see, but you could slide the Autobot Matrix of Leadership in here with no problem. See? There we go. Autobot Matrix of Leadership. No problem whatsoever. And the last little tidbit of Andras has to do with his belly. Push the abdomen in just a little bit, and open this door, and hello, Plasma Energy Chamber key. That's so cool that they added that in. It does come off. It's really hard to get this thing off of here, though. So I really do appreciate that, X-Transbots. That's a good nod. Size-wise, Andras is just a smidge shorter than MP10 Prime. X-Transbots, Andras, and Rimfire are a very, very cool set, and I'm really glad I picked them up over at BigBadToyStore.com. I like this set a lot, but there are flaws. The wings are just way too heavy and pick up dust like you wouldn't believe. When the figure first showed up to my house, the inside of the wings were incredibly dusty, and just being in the basement 2 days, they've picked up so much dust, and I don't know where it came from in all honesty. Also, the figure is a nightmare to transform back into alt mode. Getting all the panels back into place, it's not fun at all. Otherwise, the figure's great except for his feet, which are a nightmare to transform. I actually do really like this set, and I want to get some LEDs or LED batteries for his little guns in both alt mode and in robot mode. I'm really hoping I can do a follow-up video for you guys showing off those electronics. So gang, I hope you have enjoyed this video review. As always, I am Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.